This is for the nothing ever happens people. Something does happen when Tulsi Gabbard is in the warehouse on the phone in Fulton County, Georgia. Things are about to happen, and we hear from little birdies that we should be locked in all throughout the summer, that the actual handcuffs, the actual criminal referrals that they've been working on for the past 18 months will begin to drop. And we just saw the first version of this tonight with a story that is near and dear to our heart, and it is something that has pissed us off for a very long time. ODNI, the Director of National Intelligence, sends criminal referrals to the DOJ for ex-Inspector General and whistleblower tied to Trump impeachment. So this might seem like your eyes glaze over because it's so bureaucratic, but let me just explain something. How utterly duplicitous Trump's first impeachment was. You've all read the phone calls. They have the transcripts. There's nothing wrong with what Trump said to Zelensky. Trump said to Zelensky that Joe Biden's a dirty, dirty coward and that he was completely running a train on your nation financially, and that his son was also filthy dirty. And he's right about that. That's been proven true over and over and over again. There was nothing wrong with Donald Trump saying that. Joe Biden hadn't announced he was running for president or anything. But either way, I mean, like, look at what they did to Trump while he was running for president. So that's somehow not an impeachable offense. Shut up. Just shut up. But more importantly, why did they know that Trump made that phone call? Because our presidents obviously should be able to be on the phone by themselves, right? Nope, not true. It's actually so bad. It's worse than you could possibly imagine. You know, every time the president's on a phone call, there's like 15 different people listening into that phone call. These are people from the intel agencies. These are people from the Pentagon, depending on like what department is involved, trade, economics, whatever. They're listening in. And when it's like a head of state, like Volodymyr Zelensky, you had somebody from the CIA listening in, and a little CIA apparatchik named Eric Ciarmella was listening in and decided to leak that phone call to Democrats on Capitol Hill. Now, this might seem like the most obvious deep state op in history because it was. You know, this is literally worse than Watergate. They're breaking into the president's phone calls in order to listen for non-impeachable things in order to create an impeachment on Donald Trump. Yes, that was a literal coup attempt against Donald Trump. And it came from within our deep state. So all the criticism is merited and deserved, and so is now this criminal referral against that whistleblower. The Office of Director of National Intelligence sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department for the whistleblower whose complaint helped trigger Donald Trump's 2019 impeachment and former intelligence community inspector general who notified Congress of the allegations. Ooh, baby. Here we go. I want to refer the information that may constitute possible criminal activity in violation of federal law committed by one or more of the employees of the intelligence community, the ODNI Council wrote to the Justice Department. Fox News on Wednesday reviewed the referrals. The possible criminal activity concerns the circumstances described in these briefings with the inspector general and then with the whistleblower. This inspector general worked with the whistleblower to bypass. I mean, listen, again, an inspector general's job. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be whistleblowers. I'm glad there's whistleblowers, but the reason why you have an inspector general and a process and a system here is so that you don't create a fake impeachment for Trump for doing nothing wrong. Trump was doing his job. He was talking with the world leader. The transcript's out there. You can read it for yourself. Trust me, if Trump was doing something criminal, you would have had, like, do you see what Republicans are in the Senate? You would have had Republicans voting for his impeachment. But of course you didn't. You might have actually impeached Trump if they found out that Trump was actually trying to rig an election or whatever they were claiming they were claiming that he was like, quid pro quo. He's like weaponizing with Zelensky to impeach, go after Joe Biden and then I'll help you in the war. That's not true. And none of it's true. The referrals come after DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, released documents earlier in the week exposing what was described as a coordinated effort by elements of the intelligence community, including the inspector general, to manufacture a conspiracy around the basis to impeach Trump. The intelligence official told Fox News Digital that the language in the referrals is broad, but that is specifically directed at Atkinson and the whistleblower who reported concerns about Trump's call with Zelensky. ODNI directed Fox News to a recent X post in which Tulsi Gabbard said newly declassified records expose how the deep state actors within the intelligence community concocted a false narrative that Congress used to usurp the will of the American people and impeach a duly elected president. It did just make Trump more popular, though. Fox News Digital reached out to the Justice Department about the referrals. The documents Gabbard said earlier in the week transcripts Atkinson's closed-door testimony between the House Permanent Select Committee and so on. ODNI said the documents confirmed that Atkinson failed to conduct basic due diligence and willfully exceeded his statutory jurisdiction to mischaracterize the president's call with Zelensky as an urgent concern to Congress. Woo, baby. Trump's request was regarded by Democrats as a quid pro quo. Yeah, this is like obvious. This is obvious stuff, man. Yeah, it's going great. Honestly, more, please. More arrests. That's what everybody says. That's what they're always saying. That's what everybody always says on the show. More arrests, please. Impeachment bombshell. Secret memos expose Ukraine's accusers' bias, hearsay, and false claims. The U.S. intelligence watchdog developed derogatory evidence about the CIA analyst who prompted the Ukraine-focused impeachment, including submitting false information in his whistleblower complaint, offering hearsay to support his allegations, and potential bias because he was a Democrat. Ooh, that's like the full weaponization of the CIA against Donald Trump. Conspiracy theorists are right for the 10,000th millionth time. Tomorrow, I'm told that almost 400 pages of long secret documents, newly declassified, Tulsi Gabbard will be released with evidence of the intel community conspiracy to get Donald Trump. There you go. Impeachment bombshells, says President Trump. They're ramping up. Registered Democrat, the whistleblower was a registered Democrat, had a professional relationship with one of the Democrat presidential candidates, according to newly released transcripts. But the Inspector General didn't even care. The impeachment process was shockingly shameful chapter in our history. It sucks because like President Trump was the president at the time, right? So he was in charge of the CIA. He was in charge of these people. Tulsi's out here with like how they manufactured this. The so-called investigation relied on a secondhand evidence, a self-declared Democrat whistleblower who lied to Congress. Russiagate author was the key witness, and the false narrative to impeach exceeded the statutory authority to transmit documents to Democrats. They're just working with Democrats. Here's a full report, ladies and gentlemen. I hear there's going to be much, much more of this. We'll wait and stay tuned, covering it on the show tomorrow. But DOJ better damn well arrest these people, right? You better bring arrests, okay? It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.